हेलो एंड वेलकम बैक टू अ न्यू सेगमेंट ऑफ इंडस्ट्री व्यू। और आज हम पता करने वाले हैं कि ई कॉमर्स इंडस्ट्री में कितना इम्पैक्ट हो रहा है कोरोना वायरस के लिए। और हमारे साथ आज हैं अक्षय हेगड़े। ही इज एक्चुअली फ्रॉम बेंगलुरु एंड ही इज द मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर एंड को ओनर ऑफ अ कंपनी कॉल्ड ShakeDeal.com, which is a B2B e-commerce platform.
Yeah, we are technically a B2B e-commerce company, B2B e-commerce supply chain that's procurement focused. But e-commerce generally as well, they have faced a lot of supply chain disruption in these times of COVID, right? You look at it even before the actual lockdown started, which was in March 25th, right? Around that, if I'm not mistaken. If you would have seen that. I mean, these guys already felt that their demand was down 60% or something like that. And uske baad, when the actual lockdown started, with all the restrictions on movement, the government almost made it two different classifications of goods, essential and non-essential, wherein essential was strictly restricted to your meds or pharma, medical equipment, and food.
Yes. And even in food, there was very much strict guidelines on veggies, milk, and very particular stuff, not open to everything.
The real basics, right?
Yeah.
So that has obviously now most e-commerce companies have a certain area of their expertise that these guys deal with. Like you have, not everyone is a long tail or horizontal marketplace like Flipkart or Amazon. Some of them, for example, some of the e-commerce companies like Nykaa or somebody else, they are usually dealing with one vertical which may or may not have any products that come under this
fall in the essential category.
Yeah. So in those situations, obviously they are bound to take some kind of a hit.
In a way, there is a kind of a demand for e-commerce platforms, but at the same time, it's getting a little difficult for the e-commerce platform to kind of procure the products and keep up with the demand for the customers, right?
Absolutely, you got it right. I mean, there's a huge demand for e-commerce because that seems to be the only ones that are active now in this period. The normal, the traditional retail, modern retail, or all that is not available. You have still kiranas that are open, but there are certain places they don't have still access to kiranas because maybe those kirana guys themselves are not bold enough to open the shop or whatnot, right? So they have a huge reliance on these e-commerce players. So a lot of their funnel is now coming and sitting only on the essential categories on their platform, and the other people are so Amazon, Flipkart, I guess they're not even taking orders; they're deferring orders. So all that demand is getting channelized through these e-commerce companies, but still, it's largely restricted to the essential commodities that's on their platform.
Correct.
Now, the way these guys are fulfilling those essential commodities, they're trying all sorts of things. I've seen ton of partnerships, like ITC has partnered with Swiggy, Domino's for getting their supply chains and Big Basket. So a lot of these guys used to usually rely on their traditional, distributors to do the milk to the kirana stores and stuff like that. That is now stopped, or it still might be going, but they've opened another channel which enables real last mile to straight to the consumer.
So this brings a question in my mind that very recently there has been a case where one of the food delivery app guys he was found with the virus, and this would also cause a little bit of a trust issue within the customers, and will it kind of affect the entire chain? So how does the e-commerce platforms kind of tackle a situation like that?
So exactly, this time has seen a lot of distrust between different entities, even in the B2B space. But coming back to your question particularly, you see in scenarios like that, what happens is these guys obviously have to take the necessary steps, to quarantine the runners or the guys who are delivery personnel last mile. They have brought in new forms, novel forms of contactless delivery and stuff like that, which is highlighted as a marketing. Maybe it's a gimmick, but really it's to earn the trust of the customers, right? And that's probably one way these guys are tackling it. Zomato is going to come out with contactless dining once COVID is the lockdown is, lifted as well. I feel like, knowing the source, as long as the source of the goods is trusted, their demand or, their normal operations will not be, hampered. But
Fair enough.
when things like this come up, it becomes really difficult. Even in the B2B sector, there's a lot
Yeah.
of trust amongst the entities, right? People
Correct.
are,
So that's what I wanted to also know, like how ShakeDeal is kind of taking care of the situation.
yeah. So what happens is, times like this, people try to work on, advances, because, there's a lot of people floating around same, photos of goods. So a lot of proof of stock is, requested prior to making any transaction happen. But due to our network effect, somehow, because we are an ecosystem player, we've been able to manage that. But largely, this leads to, like, guys preferring to work on advances, guys preferring to work with proof of stock, and working with only incumbent vendors rather than looking at new vendors.
New ones, yes. Akshay, sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to know that there's a huge back-end process behind an e-commerce platform, right? There's a call center operation. There are people who are sitting at the back end talking. Now, of course, because of this lockdown, I mean, your manpower sitting and doing the call center bit is also, I'm sure, getting affected. And how are you kind of coping up with the current situation? And how do you think that e-commerce platform will be coping up with the situation? And what would be the kind of the new normal for people?
So yeah, you're right about the lot of functional areas are there when it comes to the backbone of or the engine of an e-commerce company. Um, all your the call centers or the operations teams that are really forming or helping in fulfillment of the orders, those guys and the guys who are essentially responsible for the movement of the goods, they have had a lot of challenges in this period. So in spite of the government, most of the cities, metros, states coming out with COVID passes, wherever it's the team that is not outsourced the requirement, they are responsible for the movement of the goods. They have also been held up, stopped, and so on and so forth, right? Even in
Right.
ShakeDeal, for certain, some of our runners have been restricted in their movements because they've been hauled up and unnecessary in spite of furnishing of the pass. It's not been a smooth ride for them or a passage.
I just hope things get back to normal as soon as possible. Thank you so much for being a part of this segment, Akshay.
Thank you, Shubha. It was a pleasure. Yeah, let's hope and keep our fingers crossed.
Absolutely. See you.